Shabbat Shalom, everyone. So, this is different, and I'm going to look at you because right now, otherwise I would be staring at an empty room. And I would be lying if I said that this didn't feel at least a little bit like a bad Twilight Zone episode, especially because I have no feedback to know whether my not funny jokes are funny. But I'm going to do my very best to treat this experience as authentically and as seriously as I possibly can. And I hope that each and every one of you that is watching this knows how much you mean to me, how much Lou and I and Eva appreciate your concern for us. Certainly have challenged, I think, personally and professionally, this has been for myself, and I understand for each and every one of us, each in our own way. And we are all adapting and changing and trying to bring out the best in each other. And I think, obviously I'm biased, but I think one of the opportunities in a moment like this is for us to each reinvigorate our spirituality, whatever that word may mean to you. And to try as best as you can in this time in which we have lost control over a great many things we had only weeks ago, to remember that much is still in our control, especially what it is that we do with our time. So I hope that these experiences week to week will mean something to you as they mean something to me. And as I said, while it would be impossible to act as if I wasn't speaking to an empty room and a camera, I will do my very best to act as if I am speaking to all of you, my friends. So one other great challenge of this, of course, is I don't have my partners in crime. I do not have Cantor Emily with us, or Keelan with us, but we are hoping to get all of us involved online in the weeks to come, so keep an eye out for that. Before we get started this evening, since we don't have Keelan, and normally we start with a nigun, a wordless melody, I wanted to actually start with a piece of liturgical poetry that we normally do not have the opportunity to do. And since I don't have anybody in the audience tapping their watch to tell me to speed up, we'll take this moment to slow down just a little bit. And I hope for those of you that got my earlier email with indication of how to access our online version of our prayer book of our Siddur, if you're following along, I will give you page numbers in the hopes that they will help you, to guide you to find the right place, and if not, to, as best as you can, follow along. So we're going to be on page 636. This piece of poetry is called Gedid Nefesh and is very much in line with many of the other pieces of poetry, like Lecha Dodi, that speak about our relationship with God, our relationship with Shabbat, with this moment, in the way only poetry can, and the way that love is often expressed in the greatest way in poetic form. So again, page 636, as best as you can, sing loud and sing at home. I can hear you, at least spiritually. Page 636. Yedid nefesh av harachaman meshoach avdecha el retzonecha yarutz avdecha kemo hayam ishtachavel mul adarecha yeravlu yedidutecha min hofetzu vecholtam Adonai ziv haolam nafshi cholat avatecha ana ela refanalam beharot lam noam zivach סוף נחשפתי לראות בתפארת עוזך הנהלים חמדת ליבי חוסנה ואל תתעלם הגעלנה ופרוס חביבי עלי את סוכת שלומך תהי ארץ מכבודך נגילה ונשמחה בך מהר אהוב כי במועד וחננו כי מעולם יאללה לה 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 יאללה לה 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 יאללה לה 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 יאללה לה 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 יאללה לה 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 יאללה לה 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 יאללה לה 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 יאללה לה 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 יאללה לה 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 לה. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. So since I can't call on anyone else to have this honor tonight, I'm going to light and bless our Shabbat candles, and if you're following online in our Siddur, it should still be on page 120. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Before we get started, you at home, me here, will take a moment just to close our eyes and reflect. And I think tonight especially, that feels like a very important, necessary step. We open our eyes, let's take a deep breath in, a deep breath out, and we'll open up our Siddurim to page 130 to begin Kabbalat Shabbat together with Psalm 95, the prayer for Sunday. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena l'Adonai, lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena l'Adonai. Nariya, nariya, letzoi shenu, nekad mafanav betodah. Nariya, nariya, letzoi shenu, bizmirot nariya lo. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena l'Adonai. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu nehanena l'Adonai. Psalm 96 is found on page 131. Shiru l'Adonai, shiru shir chadash, shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz, shiru l'Adonai baruchu shemo, asru meyom leyom yeshuato, shiru l'Adonai baruchu shemo, asru meyom leyom yeshuato, shiru l'Adonai, shiru shir chadash, shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz, shiru l'Adonai baruchu shemo, asru meyom leyom yeshuato, shiru l'Adonai baruchu shemo, asru meyom leyom yeshuato. Psalm 97 is on the bottom of page 132, the last paragraph in Hebrew. Zaru ala tzadik uleishrei lev simcha. 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 Psalm 98 is on page 134 at the very top of the page. Zamru l'Adonai bechin hor, bechin hor v'kol zimra, b'chatzotzrot v'kol shofar. Hariu lifnei hamelech Adonai, Yiram hayam umlo, Tevel ve'yoshveva, Nehar hotim chaf yachad, Harim yeranenu, Lifnei Adonai kivam, lishpot haaretz, yishpot tevel betzedek, ve'amim b'mesharim. Yiram hayam umlo, tevel ve'yoshveva, nehar hotim chaf yachad, harim yeranenu. Psalm 99 is on page 135, the last paragraph in Hebrew, right in the middle of the page. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu le'al kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu והשתחוו להר קודשו. Psalm 29, a prayer for Friday, is on page 136. מזמור לדוד, הבו לאדוני בני אלים, הבו לאדוני כבוד ועוז, הבו לאדוני כבוד שמו, השתחוו לאדוני בהדרת קודש, כל אדוני על המים, אל הכבוד הרים, אדוני על מים רבים, אדוני על מים רבים. כל אדוני בכוח, כל אדוני בהדר, כל אדוני שובר ארזים, וישבר אדוני את ארזי הלבנון, וירקידם כמו עגל, לבנון וסיריון, כמו בן רהימים, כמו בן רהימים. כל אדוני חוצב להבות אש, כל אדוני יכיל מדבר, יכיל אדוני מדבר קדש, כל אדוני יחולל איילות, ויחשוף יערות ובחלום, כולו מכבוד, כולו מכבוד, כולו מכבוד. אדוני למה בו ישב, וישב אדוני מלך לעולם, אדוני עוז לעמו ייתן, אדוני יברך את עמו ושלום. Turn now to page 138, Lecha Dodi, beginning at the top of the page. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. 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 Shamor וזכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, ki hi mekor haberacha, מראש מקדם ניסוחה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Mikdash
תצאי מתוך ההפכה, רב לך שבט בעמק הבכה, והוא יחמול עלייך חמלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. התנערי מעפר קומי, לבשי בגדי תפארתך עמי, על יד בן ישי בית הלחמי, קרבה אל נפשי גאלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, כי באורך ומיורי, אורי שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לא תבושי ולא תקמי, מה תשתכחי ומה תהמי, מה יכעסו עניי עמי ונבנתה. הראתי לה לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. והיו לשמסו שוסייך ורחקו כל מבעלייך, יסיס עלייך אלוהייך כמשוש חתן. הכלה לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. ימין ושמאל תפרוצי ואת אדוני תעריצי, על יניש בן פצי ונשמחה ונגילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. בואי ושלום, עטרת פעלה גם בשמחה, ובצהלתו אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. יאי לי לי לי, איי לה 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 לה, איי לי לי לי, איי לה 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 לה, איי לי לי לי, לה 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 לה, איי לה לה יא לה 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 לה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
I hope those from our dancing crew were dancing wherever you guys are watching this right now. So we'll now turn to page 140 to conclude Kabbalat Shabbat. Tzaddik Katamar is on page 140, as I said, right where the Hebrew indents in the middle of the page. Tzaddik Katamar Yifrach
שתולים בבית אדוני בחצרות אלוהינו יפריחו הוד ינובון וסבא דשנים ורעננים יהיו להגים כי ישר אדוני צורי ולא המלטה בו.
So, obviously there are not 10 adults in the room with me at the moment, but the rabbis of the Reform movement, and I believe of the conservative movement as well, have ruled that in this particular extenuating circumstance that we will count the digital participation as if we were in present, and this will connect in a little bit to my drash a little bit later on. So we will continue as if we can do everything in the service we would normally do with a full minyan. So if you are able at home, please rise as we turn to page 144 for the Chatzi Kaddish.
יתקדש ויתקדש שמי רבה אמן בעלמא בברכיותי וימליך מלכותי בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל בעגלה ובזמן קריב וימרו אמן ישמי רבה מברך לעלם ולעלמי עלמיה יתברך יתברך וישתבח ויפאר יתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשיה בריחו לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה תמירן בעלמה וימרו אמן.
Now on page 146.
ברכו את אדוני המבורך ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד.
At home, please be seated if you're standing. We'll turn now to page 149 as I read at the top of the page a blessing before the Shema, the first blessing before the Shema. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows.
ומעביר יום ומביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו. אל חי וקיים תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני, אמרי ואהבים.
We turn now to page 151, and we'll read at the top of the page in English the second blessing before the Shema. As you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me. Did you mean the struggle for me too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery.
כי הם חיינו לאורך ימינו, ובהם נגי יומם ולילה. ועבדך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים, ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם, אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים, אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
Let's turn now to page 157. Very important reading for us to contemplate at this time. Again, top of page 157. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt. But there is a better place, a promised land. That the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, and that there is no way to get from here to there, except by joining hands and marching together.
Yabbai bye bim 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 bam, yabbai bye bim bam, yabbai bye bim 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 bam, yabbai bye bim bam, yai bye ba 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 bye, yabbai bye bim bam, ai bye ba 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 bye, yabbai bye bim bam.
Page 158.
Mi kamocha ba'alim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, Norat hilot osefele, Norat hilot osefele, Yabbai bye bim 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 bam, yabbai bye bim bam, yabbai bye bim 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 bam, yabbai bye bim bam, ai bye ba 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 bye, yabbai bye bim bam, ai bye ba 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 bye, yabbai bye bim bam. Malchutecha ra'u vanecha, bokeam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam zelianu ve'amru, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed, v'nemar kifad Adonai et Yaakov, u'golo miyad chazak mimenu, baruch ata Adonai, gal Yisrael.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up, waiting to do your will. Ashkivenu, page 160. 160.
Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leShalom ve'hamidenu shomereinu lechaim. Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leShalom ve'hamidenu shomereinu lechaim. Ushmor tzeitem Uvoenu L'chaim u'shalom ve'ata ve'ad olam. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu le'shalom ve'amidenu shomreinu lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu le'shalom ve'amidenu shomreinu lechaim. Blessed are you, Adonai, guardian of Israel, whose shelter of peace has spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Yerushalayim. Mishamru, page 162. V'shameru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat l'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam berhit olam Einai beini uvein b'nei Yisrael oti le'olam ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz u'bayom hashivim Shabbat, Shabbat v'yinafash. At this point, for those who are able at home, you would rise and face east as best as you are able. We're going to begin the Amidah together on page 164 and then continue silently. Please go at your own pace, especially tonight. And when you're finished, you may be seated. Adonai sifatai tiftachu fi agi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Oseh shalom bimromav, uya Yaseh Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael Ve'al Kol Yoshvei Tevel Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael. So we turn to page 371 for our Mishaberach tonight. It probably needs very little explanation, and in addition to those in our community and closest to our community that we are thinking of tonight, and in addition to all the people closest to you in your homes, wherever you may be tonight, that we are thinking about the entire world. Because at a moment like this, it reminds us that we are all connected in one form or the other, and we are all suffering in one form or the other. And for those that are truly in the greatest need of love and affection and healing, that our words tonight and our words in these prayers, I truly believe have efficacy. They truly have effect. And so I am putting everything that I have into these words tonight, and I hope that you who are watching in this at home will do the exact same. Mishiberach Avotinu v'Imotinu Avraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov Sarah Rivka Rachel Leah Hu Yivarech et hacholim ha'elu. And we begin by thinking of those in our community and connected to our community who are in need of healing. Neil Fagan, who's doing much better, everyone should know. Judy Stern, Miriam Cornfield, Raz Brody, Chana Ruth Batsara, Marlise Silverberg, Louis Davidson, Susan Spruce, Fagel Tzipora Bat Elisheva Batsara, Richard Gambino, Morris Dickstein, Michelle Sawicki, Idel Basha Bat Yitzchak, Tzvi Menachem Ben Chaim, Rivka Bat Devora, Lydia Dworkin, Amy and Gavin Tucker, Janice Kurz, David Dowling, Neil, Elliot and Eileen Rosen, Israel Ben Yitzchak, Ben Sion Ben Moshe, Lorraine Danis, Buddy Kassoff, Shelley Newmark, David Kyle Klotman, Rivka Bat Rachel, Sarah Bat Chana, Moshe Eliezer Ben Sivia, Peretz Ben Yehuda, Leah Bat Naomi. And if you're thinking of anyone this evening who's close to you, I would invite you just to take a moment as I will here, and just to think of all those loved ones, to put out that good energy, that good healing energy. And just a reminder that if you haven't spoken to your loved ones recently, after Shabbat is over, pick up the phone and call them and tell them that you are thinking of them. It's one of the greatest forms of prayer there is. HaKadosh Baruch Hu Yimalei Rachamim Aleihem, L'Hachalimam L'Rabotam L'Chazikam V'Yishlach Lehem Mehevra Refuah. Refuah Shlema Min HaShamayim, Refuat HaNefesh, Refuat HaGuf, Hashtabag Alav Zman Kariv V'Nomar. Amen. May the one who blessed our ancestors Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal those who are suffering. May the Blessed Holy One be filled with compassion for their health to be restored and their strength to be revived. May God swiftly send them a complete renewal of body and spirit, and let us say together, Amen. Mi sheberach I avotenu mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mi sheberach imotenu mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I think if we're going to be authentic, I should have a cardboard cutout of Neil falling asleep during my sermon somewhere in the 5th or 6th row back there, but sorry, Neil, I had to give a jab at you even when you're not here.
No, tonight actually, in all seriousness, I'm really moved because I get to share a teaching from someone who is very dear to me, Rabbi Gabe Greenberg, who I happened to grow up with as a friend. His parents, my parents, are oldest friends, dear friends, and he is a remarkable modern Orthodox rabbi, Chov Veitor rabbi, who was in the Hillel in Berkeley, and then was in a congregation in New Orleans, and now most recently is, I believe, at the Hillel in UPenn. And he, one of the small silver linings of what we're experiencing right now, at least personally, has been that a lot of my colleagues, a lot of my friends have really been posting things on Facebook or online, writing, teaching, doing what they can to continue to make sure that Torah is alive and well and shared. Something that I have to get to myself shortly. So I came across this teaching by Rabbi Greenberg, which of course is so brilliantly attuned to not just the time period, but the specific nature of what we are experiencing really for the first time tonight, which is this sense of somehow or another davening across the wire, as it were. And what does it mean to be part of something and apart from something, as he so beautifully explained. And anybody who would like to see Rabbi Greenberg's original teaching, look him up on Facebook. It should be on his page. Tell him I sent you, and he's a wonderful, wonderful guy. And I'm going to do my very best to paraphrase it, to try to teach his teaching this evening, which, according to his humble introduction, that he was taught by someone before. So it's the nature of rabbinic teaching, is that very few of us come up with the original idea, and each one of us is a passing on of that idea, and hopefully adding to it at least a little bit as it progresses. So he taught a small section that is included within the first section of the Babylonian Talmud, of the Talmud Tractate Brachot, on page 7b. And it tells a story, a brief interaction between two very famous rabbis, Rabbi Yitzchak and Rabbi Nachman. All right, so Rabbi Yitzchak basically and Rabbi Nachman are part of the same community. They daven in the same place. They know each other well. And the story begins where Rabbi Yitzchak notices that his friend Rabbi Nachman, who he refers to as his master, his teacher, right, the great, great reverence for, he notices that he hasn't been coming to shul lately, which is a very unusual thing to him, because normally he's a regular expected participant, a regular part of the minyan, of the quorum of 10 adults that are necessary to do a full service. And so he goes to inquire after his friend Nachman and asks, Master, right? Again, referring to him in the greatest possible effect. Master, why is it that you're not coming to the synagogue to pray? So Rabbi Nachman says to him that, quite honestly, I'm weak and I'm unable to come. We don't know what the weakness is. It doesn't tell us in great detail, but I think all of us have certainly been in that place before, and certainly understand that whatever it is that is going on, it precludes him from being able to be where he would otherwise normally be. So he says it, rather than creating some excuse or some whole long conversation, he says it as it is, right? I'm in a place of weakness, and I am unable to come to synagogue to pray along with everyone else. So of course Rabbi Yitzchak is moved by this, and at least that's our read into the text, and he wants to try to help. So he says back to him, well, why not, right? So if you can't come to us, why don't you gather 10 individuals and to come to your home and pray? In other words, a minyan doesn't have to be in a synagogue, it can be in your home. It's not regular outside of a situation like a Shiva minyan, but under these circumstances, especially for as great a teacher as you, why not just let us gather 10 people to come and let you do a service like the way that you would do it if you were with us? And Reb Nachman, without beating an eyelash, says back to him, it's burdensome for me. Now, we again don't know what that word means or meant to Reb Yitzchak at that point in his life, or Reb Nachman, I should say. But simply is to say that option of bringing people to him was not a viable option, one way or the other. And so ultimately speaking, right, Rabbi Yitzchak doesn't stop. He says, well, I'm a problem-solving kind of rabbi. I'm going to help you try to figure this out. So why don't you, Master, why don't you tell the congregation to send a messenger when the congregation is praying to come and inform you, that way you can pray in your house, but you'll be praying at exactly the same time as the congregation in the synagogue itself. So you can't physically be here in shul, but we'll make sure that you know when we're in shul with our 10 people together and when we're davening, and you can do everything basically where you are alongside of that. And at this point, Reb Nachman, even though maybe he is or maybe he isn't moved, but he sees that his student, Reb Yitzchak, is really, dead set on trying to figure out how to solve this problem for Reb Nachman. And so he asks the question, he says, what is this to you, right? Why are you in such a fuss over this? Why is it so important to you that I be connected to communal prayer? So Rabbi Yitzchak, as the rabbis tended to do, and is still fairly common custom, to answer a question of that sort by quoting something from the Tanakh, ultimately in this case from the book of Psalms. And Rabbi Yitzchak says back to Reb Nachman, quoting from Psalm 69 verse 14, "But as for me, let my prayer be unto you, God, in a time of favor." Okay. But as for me, let my prayer be unto you, God, as in a time of favor. So the question then becomes, what is this phrase, in a time of favor? What does it mean, in a time of favor? And ultimately speaking, Rabbi Greenberg explains that this is basically a time in which the prayer will be the most effective, right? The most heard, the most understood by God, right? What is it that's so important about communal prayer? Rabbi Yitzchak says that in this verse from Psalms, we learned that it's really important to be gathered together. And he says, because a time of favor is a time when the congregation is praying. In other words, when a group of people together is praying, that is the most effective time. That is the time in which all of the pieces will fall into place, the time when God will be the most open, the time when we will be the most vulnerable, the time when we are at our apex, at our ideal, I should say. So from this we learn really a lot of things. And as Rabbi Greenberg pointed out, there are a lot of assumptions built into this. Certainly an assumption on the concept of belief in God in the first place, and believing in the idea that prayer has a direct, tangible effect on our lives, right, as Rabbi Yitzchak is implying. But assuming that we have feelings about those kinds of things, we also can learn other factors that are germane and very relevant to where we are tonight, in the way that I'm speaking to you, again, as I said, across the wires. So first and foremost, this is not so much a new teaching, but a reinforcing of an idea that we already have, which is that Judaism places a very high value on the idea of communal prayer. And I think Rabbi Greenberg does a wonderful job of translating that word prayer in a little bit of a broader context, right? This idea of a communal, a shared spiritual experience, right? That our system, even though it can be sometimes complicated in order to get everybody together at the right time, that I think we've all felt the power, the energy in the room is different when you have a group of people together. And I can tell you for a fact, I am standing in a room with no other people and the energy is different. As much as I am trying my hardest to act as if it's the same, by definition it's not. By definition we are in a different place entirely. And a moment like this you can really feel how distant it is when we're not actually physically together, when I can't see your faces, when I can't hear you either laughing or making comments to each other where you think I can't hear you, right? All of these things are missing from this element right now, and I think this story of Reb Yitzchak is basically saying, don't diminish that, Reb Nachman. Don't diminish the idea that it's important for us to gather together. But at the same time, I think what Reb Yitzchak is demonstrating is that, and Reb Nachman as well, there are going to be times in which our normal, ideal circumstance isn't possible. Sometimes for health reasons, sometimes for other reasons. We can't always be together. And in this moment in time, not only can't we shouldn't be together. We are being told specifically that the best thing that we can do is to not be in our physical presence of each other, even 6 feet, to really try as best as we can to limit it. So then what is it that we do? How do we then continue on holding up this idea of the importance of communal prayer, and yet at the same time acknowledging of the fact that we can't always be in the same place at the same time? And then when those circumstances happen, right, what Rabbi Yitzchak is saying is, try your best to still maintain the connection, right? If you can't bring it to you, make sure that you're doing it at the same time as the other people that you would normally be with together. And why is that important? Because it redefines the idea of the word connection, which is at the very basis of all of this, is the very basis of Rabbi Greenberg's teaching. right, is on the very centrality of this idea of remaining connected to each other. It's not that prayer can't happen on our own. It's not that prayer can't happen with less than 10 people. It's much more about the idea that connectedness and that feeling of connectedness is central and the most helpful in getting us to open up in the way that we need to open up, to pray in the way that we need to pray, and in our hope that God will hear us in the greatest fashion. But since we can't be together, to not feel uncomfortable with the unbelievable opportunity of technology that we have in our lifetime that allows basically what Rabbi Yitzchak was hoping for, defining here, this idea of at least telling him when to daven at the same time. Now we can quite literally do that, or at least as close as possible at the moment through recording, and eventually through live streaming. And it's important to understand in the core of this that connection is not defined by physical proximity. It may be aided by it, it may be normalized by it, it may be what we are all praying and hoping to get back to as quickly as we possibly can. But connection can exist even across great distances. And it happens to be one of, while technology has brought many challenges to the world, today it is bringing one of the great saving graces, the fact that we can still see each other, communicate with each other, connect with each other, and in this way continue to pray together until we are able to be back in this space again together. So I leave you with the teaching of three really great rabbis, Rabbi Yitzchak, Rabbi Nachman, and Rabbi Gabe Greenberg, dear friends, great teacher, wonderful person, and I think bringing us a text for this Shabbat that I hope will hit all of you the way that it hit me. So with that, I wish you all a Shabbat Shalom. And we're going to now turn to page 586 and rise, if we are able, as we turn, again, page 586, at the bottom of the page, Aleinu L'Shabbat.
Aleinu L'Shabbat L'Adon HaKol, Latet Gedula Le'otzeh Breshit, Shelo Asanu Kigoyei Aratzot, Velo Samanu Kenishbechot Adama, Shelo Sam Chelkenu Kahem, Vegor Aleinu Kechol Amonam, Vanachnu Koim, Umishtachavim Umotim, Lifnei Mehelech Malchei Hamachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, V'nehemar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo
We now turn to page 598 for the Mourner's Kaddish this evening. We do not have the Kaddish list again this week. We will have that back up and running by next week. But in the meanwhile, for those of you that are saying Kaddish at home, please know that you can say it in full voice as you would if you were here. Count the virtual minyan as part of your minyan. Take this opportunity to say their names out loud. Make sure that you are acknowledging who it is that you're saying Kaddish for. And certainly we hold in our hearts and we say Kaddish in the broadest sense for those who have already lost their lives. We ultimately pray that that number will remain as low as is humanly possible. But ultimately speaking, we carry each one of these lives together with us, even if we've never known them. So again, the Mourner's Kaddish is on page 598. Before we begin, the one Kaddish that I know we would have read tonight, the name we would have read would have been Jason Zaretsky, son of Alan and Marilyn Zaretsky, who had planned to sponsor this evening's Oneg in his memory, as they have for the last several years. And if you guys are watching, I love you guys, and I'm sorry we couldn't do it in person, but we certainly are remembering Jason tonight. Again, please join me on page 598. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah. Amen. Ve'alma divrach chirutei ve'yamlich malchutei v'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael ba'gala u'v'zman kariv v'yimru Amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevarach le'alam u'li'almei almaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yit'ale v'yithalal shemei dekudsha barichu. Leila min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shalom araba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Zichronam livracha, may every one of their memories be for a blessing. Okay, you can be seated, and if you have some Manischewitz or some grape juice or something sweet in a very close vicinity, in a moment we'll end our service for this evening with Kiddush, which is found on page 123. And just again, my gratitude to all of you who are watching this either on time or at some point after the fact, and know how much I'm thinking about each and every one of you. Please don't hesitate to reach out if there's anything that you think we can do to help. We're going to continue as best as we can under the circumstances, look for some upcoming online classes and opportunities for community and connection that we are working very hard to get off the ground. If you have any specific ideas, we're open to ideas. But mostly stay in touch with each other, stay in touch with me, and please, this is a Jewish imperative as much as it is me telling you. Listen to the advice of your local authorities, wherever they may be. Listen to the advice of your doctors and physicians. Do everything you can to protect yourselves and those around you. Be considerate and thankful for the people who still have to work outside and who are in greater risk, and they're doing it for our benefit. The first instinct at a time like this is to pander to our cruelest integrities, right? The things about us that get upset when the package doesn't arrive on time or there isn't the food we were hoping for at the supermarket. Ultimately speaking, all of those things are real and they are hard. But don't let that translate into anger that you then take out on others. It's going to be probably all of our greatest challenge over the next several weeks and months, is to not transfer our anxieties to others who are not the basis of it. So with that, I will stop preaching, and I will wish you all a Shabbat Shalom, and if you'll join me on page 123. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam mohorei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratza b'hanu v'shabbat kodsho b'ahava uvratzon inchilanu zikaron lema'aseh bereshit ki hu yom techila lemikrae kodesh zecher letziat mitzrayim ki b'hanu v'achata ve'otanu kidashta mikol hamim ve'shabbat kodshecha ve'ahava uvratzon inchaltanu baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat. Amen. L'chaim, to life. Shabbat Shalom, and services tomorrow should be up and online by 10 o'clock. Wish you all a Shabbat Shalom, and hopefully by next week we will be live streaming. So keep your eyes peeled for all announcements, and again, if you need anything at all, please contact me directly. And again, Shabbat Shalom to you and your loved ones. Be safe. Shabbat Shalom.